Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and yes, I am back with part 4 of my Scream Factory shelf by shelf overview. So we left off, we finished the 80s and 90s, so we're into the 2000s. So yeah, let's get right into this. So I'm gonna remove this so it doesn't fall on the ground. First up here, we got Cherry Falls, which is surprisingly a pretty decent film, actually, with Brittany Murphy. Rest in peace to Brittany Murphy. Jay Moore. Yeah, I think when this one first came out, I believe it may have been, okay, so I can't remember if this is a director's cut or not. I can't remember. I do have a DVD version of it too, but yeah, you know, a pretty decent film, actually. Not too bad. You know, for that time period when a lot of slashers were just clones of each other. But I mean, I guess that's always what slashers have been. But anyways, you get the picture. The Poughkeepsie tapes. This was like one of those long sought after films. Like, it just didn't have a release forever. And then Scream Factory announced it, and I was like, holy shit, I can finally actually watch it in a good copy. So this is like the 86-minute version. I think that there is another version of it too. I'm not 100% sure on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was different versions that was floating around when it was being heavily bootlegged for years and stuff. But a pretty damn good found footage film, I will say. What year did this thing originally? I think it's like 2006. Is that what it says? 2008 when it came out. It took like pretty much 10 years to get released. So yeah, pretty cool. Then we got some Bones, Snoop Dogg and Bones. I like the soundtrack. I have the soundtrack for this. It's been a while since I've actually watched this, man, but I remember thinking it was pretty cheesy, but it's fun. Some good blaxploitation almost here. It's actually better than you think it would be, for all intents and purposes, but yeah. And then we got the Dreadful Gravy. Yeah, I said it. I fucking hate this movie. I honestly do not find this shit funny at all, man. The only good thing about this film for me was Sarah Silverman, because I find her absolutely hilarious, man. She's a great stand-up comedian, but I haven't watched it in years. Maybe I'll give it another shot sometime, but to be honest, man, this shit was like, I don't know. It was dreadful to me. Very, very dreadful. And everyone seemed to love it but me. The Editor from the Astron 6 Boys. My favorite film of, what year was it? 2018, I think it came out. Where is I fucking can't remember any dates anymore, man. I'm getting so bad with dates, like on the more modern stuff. But anyways, you guys know, basically a love letter to Italian giallos. You don't have to say Italian giallos, just giallos. They are Italian. Fantastic movie though, man. Like, Adam Brooks absolutely fucking destroys this movie. Of course, Matt Kennedy, guys from Astron 6. But if you've never seen The Editor, man, I highly recommend this shit. Especially if you're a fan of Italian films and giallos and just it's a great love letter, man. There's tons of call outs in here, man. Love the Fulci shit. It's good stuff. Bloodsucking Bastards, which I actually think is pretty funny. Yeah, another ridiculous comedy from the early, I wouldn't say the early 2000s. It was like 2015. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I enjoy it. I like these office kind of space horror comedies, and I don't know. They're fun. Zombie Fight Club. I think I remember like really not liking this at all. And thinking to myself, why am I buying this shit? I really don't buy a lot of the modern stuff, as you guys will see, but unless I absolutely really love it. Like, I mean, obviously I was going to grab The Editor, which I actually have another Blu-ray copy too. I think it's the Canadian version. But yeah, this one wasn't that great. And then speaking of not so great, the Toolbox Murders 2. But I will say, and I know this is probably going to be like super controversial, I actually like this sequel more than the Tobe Hooper remake. Believe it or not. I find this a little bit more entertaining. Tobe Hooper's film is like, it grits on me, man. It really does grit on me. I don't know. I just don't find it enjoyable. This one's, it's still bad, but I don't know. I find it more enjoyable. At least it has Bruce Dern in it. That's amazing. And this is a movie, actually, I think in 2012 or 13, whatever. Actually, I think it came in my top 10. I love this movie, Cockneys vs. Zombies. Hilarious. It has a great sequence in it that just completely reminds me of Return of the Living Dead. You guys might know what I'm talking about. I don't want to ruin anything, but I don't know. It has that kind of, it's very much influenced from that. But it was fun. It's fun. I actually feel like watching this again. It's been a long time since I watched it. So, oh man, I hate these slip covers, those stupid fucking backs. Army of Frankensteins, man. When this one got announced, I was like, I gotta check this out. I love Frankenstein movies. And I was like, a whole army of Frankensteins? That's amazing. I gotta check that shit out. This movie was actually pretty cool. I like the premise of it. If you guys want to pause it and read the breakdown there, you can. An over-the-top sci-fi horror hybrid. That's right. It's pretty cool. I really recommend this. It was kind of fun. I know it sounds ridiculously stupid, but it's actually pretty fun. Dead Shadows, which I didn't mind. It was okay. It was all right. I mean, it had a decent premise to it, but, you know, it's, at the end of the day, it's pretty average. So, then we got The Lesson, which I don't remember much, to be honest. Art house horror. I know it is like a, I want to say it might even be very, I can't remember if it's straight like torture porn. And you know how much I hate that term, but sometimes it's the only way to describe something. But I think it's along the lines of something like, I don't know, I'm not really reading the breakdown here, but I can't remember it. It slipped my mind, so I don't think I loved it. If I can't really remember what the fuck. The House That Jack Built. I love this movie. I haven't even watched this copy yet. This actually made my top 10 from a couple years back. Great movie, man. There's so much shit going on in here. Matt Dillon's performance is fantastic. Lars Van Trier, just, you know, he makes great films, but this is really good, man. I think that this one kind of got a little bit hated on. I know it had its fans, but it also had a lot of fucking haters on it too. I don't know if the running time like discouraged people on this one, because it does run. Well, I mean, theatrical to director's cut, it's like 151 to 152 minutes, so 2.5 hours. I didn't feel like this movie was that long at all. It rips by, man. Just, it's very cool. Very, very cool, man. I could watch this many times over. Then we got the Slumber Party Massacre remake, which just recently came out, I believe, on Blu-ray. And I was like really kind of concerned about this because I love the original Slumber Party Massacre films. I love all three of them. And I was like, the remake in that, I'm like, I hope they do something different. And they did. They totally took the name and did something different, which is what you should do with a remake. And it turned out to be very entertaining and just a lot bloodier and messier than I thought it was going to be, considering it was made for TV. I can't remember who it was made for. But yeah, it is. It was a Shout Studios, but I think it aired on TV originally, on the Sci-Fi original. Yeah, so it aired on Sci-Fi, and it was a lot gorier and just a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, another Shout Studios original film, which I believe this might be the second one. There might have been one after Fender Bender. I'm not sure. Maybe there's been only two. I'm not 100% sure. But end of the day, I really enjoyed that. I know people right away were like, fuck Slumber Party Massacre remake, man. It's like, if you go into shit just hating on the fact that it's a remake right away, you gotta reassess your life, bro. The Battery, absolutely fucking love this movie, man. I love this film. I know it was kind of indifferent for some people. They didn't really, I think they kind of missed the point of it. I remember having an argument with some people about this film when it came out. They're like, well, there's barely any zombies in it. And I'm like, yeah, but the movie's not really about the zombies. It's about these two characters that don't really care for each other, that are forced to survive because there's no one else around in a world that has been overcome with death and zombies. It's cool, man. It's a character study. It's like, it's really original, man. And it's good. It's well done. Jeremy Garner knocks us out the park, man. I think he's a great actor. I wish he would do more stuff. Like, he does a lot of cameos and he does a lot of smaller things, but he did a couple films recently that he was really good, and I didn't really care for the movies that much, but he's always such a great actor and everything. But if you've never seen The Battery, it's honestly, it's one of my favorite modern day zombie films. So yeah, it's good shit, man. Really good shit. Speaking of really damn good modern movies, Gunwoman. Fuck. This is a bona fide 10 out of 10 for me, man. This shit is batshit insane. Highly recommend this. It's a good hybrid right here. It's batshit, man. That's all I'm going to say. It's Asian, so it's subtitled. So don't let that discourage you. Yeah, I don't know why I kept my gum in my mouth. You guys can probably hear me chewing it like a fucking pig. The Squad. Now, this movie looks really damn good. It's got really good cinematography. It's got a cool premise. I wish it would kind of make more, kind of war-related like horror films. It's a very ominous type feeling film. Very doom and gloom. But at the end of the day, it kind of falters. It doesn't really hit hard. It's kind of a shame because it's got a really good setup and shit. But yeah, The Squad. I think me and JP reviewed that once on the podcast, just the two of us. The Funhouse Massacre. I enjoyed the shit out of this, man. This was fun. It was just stupid fun, man. Really stupid fun. With a lot of familiar faces in here. Got some Clint Howard. You got some Freddie in there, some Robert Englund. But yeah, no, it was fun. I know, again, this was another one that people were like, fuck the Funhouse Massacre. And I'm like, nah, it's fun. It's really stupid fun. The Binding, which I think I remember kind of liking. It's another one that just never really stuck with me too much. But I think I remember digging this one a lot. Man, some of these, it's funny how modern titles are sometimes the hardest movies to remember. Because I watch a shit ton of movies, man. You can't falter me a little bit, man, for forgetting some of the damn movies. But I think I remember kind of digging it. But Exorcism at 6,000 feet. I remember when this one first got announced, I was like, shit, man, I've never heard of this. I thought it was an older movie with this artwork. Yeah, it turns out it's like totally a modern, like, comedy spoof. I know a lot of people hated this. I laughed through the whole fucking thing. I don't know why, but there was so many stupid gigs in this shit that made me laugh. I don't know, maybe I was in a good mood or something, but, it's got Bill Moseley, Adrian Barbeau in it, Lance Hendrickson, Robert Mine. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I would suggest maybe throwing this on if you've had a couple beers and just, I don't know. I remember watching it I think I was a little bit inebriated. I don't know, like I usually am. The Hills Run Red. This is a good slasher movie with a pretty cool premise. I think the only thing that really kind of brings this shit down is the really bad CG at times. Like, that's the one thing in slasher films I just want to avoid at all costs. I would rather just avoid CG in general in horror films, but slasher films, man, dude, when you got CG in a slasher film, it's so damn noticeable and so shitty. Because, like, if you were like me, who was born a long time ago, like in 1980, and kind of grew up with slasher films, and like you just got so used to loving practical effects and just looking forward to practical effects in horror films and stuff. But this one came out at a time where obviously practical effects were more expensive to do, time consuming, and so you got those CG moments. But it's kind of a shame, because if this thing was fully 100% practical effects, man, I think people would talk about it more. I honestly really do. Session 9, a creepy ass movie. I think it's a tad bit overrated. I think it's an excellent movie, don't get me wrong. And just because somebody says something is overrated doesn't mean they don't like it. Fuck, I hate when people are like, what do you mean you don't like it because you said it's overrated? I'm like, I like lots of things that I think are overrated. It is what it is. But Session 9, this one gets a ton of praise. Like, and it is creepy. And it's really well done. But I don't think it's as good as a lot of people say it is. But it's still really good, Session 9. And then we got the amazing 8-Leg Freaks, which I haven't even opened up this copy, but of course I had upgraded my DVD. This movie is such a blast. It's so stupid. David Arquette, man, it's such a fun movie. I love the effects in this movie too. They work so well for the comedy. It's just great. It's great fun. Oh man, is this thing stuck? What is going on here? Why can I not get this out? I'm struggling. Am I struggling? Seriously? Come on. Fender Bender on DVD. I know. So this obviously has a Blu-ray release, but in Canada, for some odd reason, Walmart never gets the Blu-rays. We only get the DVDs. It's probably just a regional thing. And I really wanted to watch it, and it was like $10. It literally was like $10. So I was like, fuck it. I'll pick it up. If I like it, I'll upgrade. The thing is, I love this movie, and I recently rewatched it in an airport about a month ago. I was bored, waiting for my flight. We were there really early. I was really fucking hungover. I'm not going to lie. And so I opened up my Shudder on my phone here, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to watch something I've seen before, something I can just, don't have to fully 100% pay attention to. And I rewatched Fender Bender. I still really like this movie, man. I really do like it. The ending's fantastic in it. And I gotta say, man, this artwork right here, oh, bro. That's why sometimes slipcovers are terrible. Like that compared to that, bro. That's amazing. That's good throwback artwork. Good movie. I like it. I know a lot of people don't, but it is what it is. All right, so we're in the last for the modern, just general releases before we get into the IFC releases, which, yeah, so House in the Alley. I enjoyed this movie. This movie was a strange release because they never released this on Blu-ray. It was a DVD-only release, and yeah, it just never made its way to Blu-ray, and I thought it was kind of strange. And again, with pointless slipcover. I don't know why they do those things. Make us pay more for the same artwork. Are you fucking with me? I like this movie. No Blu-ray release though. Kind of strange. All right, so if you didn't notice, onto the IFC things now. I don't actively collect IFC titles. I used to when I was buying like everything, and then I stopped. And there is a few of the ones that have come out in the last few years that I do want to pick up because I just kind of pick and choose on the ones that I like now. But yeah, we'll start with the Babadook. I think this is this is one of those gate. Is it the gate? Yeah, it is. Yeah, so the slipcover that people masturbate over. People rub their shit. This thing's just really tight. Anyways, yeah, the Babadook, infamously known as having the most annoying kid in cinema. Besides, I wouldn't say Bob from House by the Cemetery. Oddly enough, I'm actually wearing a House by the Cemetery shirt right now. But Bob isn't the problem in that movie. It's the dubbing, people. It's not Bob. It's just a bad dubbing. The kid was fine. Here, the kid was supposed to be annoying. Are people kind of missing the point of that? Babadook's a good movie. I don't really have to elaborate on the Babadook. I'm sure everybody watching this has seen it. Wormwood, Aussie film. I think we were just talking about this. I believe that Wormwood... No, or does it have a sequel? Was this one? Does it have a sequel? Or am I just tripping balls? I don't know. Yeah, at first, I wasn't like hell-bently loving this movie. I don't know why that was a phrase. Hell-bently? What the fuck am I talking about? Hell and Bentleys? Yeah, I wasn't like loving this movie at first, and I rewatched it, and I really dug it. It's a lot better than I remembered it to be. Yeah, that artwork's so much better than that one. Actually, they're both pretty cool. That one's a little bit busy. Cool zombie film, though. Very, very cool. Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead. It's actually, it's a decent quote. It makes a lot of sense. So, then we got Stung. This movie is ridiculous. Another one with Lance Hendrickson. Oh, Lance, what are you doing? He's like, whatever, bro. I'm still making that money off Pumpkinhead. It's fun. It's actually pretty damn fun. I won't lie. And I love this artwork. I love that shit. I think I used this on an update one time. Just that image because it's so cool. Because I have like an eye phobia, man. I guess that's why I love Fulci so much. But yeah, Stung, ridiculously pretty decent Hornet film. Yeah. The Harvest. I love this movie. This was really damn good. With Michael Shannon, man. He's such a great actor. He's so good. You got some Peter Fonda's in this one too, but Michael Shannon he's really dope. Good film. Really, really good film. I enjoy this, man. Extraterrestrial. I know a lot of people kind of shit on this one. Like, it seems like every IFC film that comes out it just makes people want to scream. It's got my Canadian brother, Michael Ironside, in it, of course. I think it's pretty cool. Alien film. Speaking of alien films that are not good, Alien Outpost, this movie's fucking terrible. Yeah, it's like a, war kind of alien type thing. It's like a really budgeted fucking Independence Day. Maybe a different narrative, but you guys get it. Dark Summer. Love this movie. Love this movie. I thought it was really good. Another really good modern film. Does this one have a different artwork on it? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. Stupid. Paying an extra 68 cents. And you owe me, motherfucker. I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't even been drinking. I'm just being weird. Backcountry. Giant fucking killer bear. Actually, it's not like a grizzly. I shouldn't say it's not an 18-foot bear, but it's based on a true story of basically these bear attacks and stuff. Yeah, it even says at the top, based on a true story. I believe, did this not happen in Canada? I think the real story actually happened in Canada. I don't know. I'm probably lying to you guys, but I think it is. I want to say it did happen. It kind of makes sense if it did, because we have, well, especially where I live in like bear country. So I'm used to seeing bears a lot. The Stranger. I like this one too, man. People, again, were just very indifferent on it, which, it's like every movie. I don't know, I have to keep repeating myself. It's just very redundant, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. Decent film. Here's one that I've reviewed this movie multiple times. And I love this movie, man. Hellions. It's a great, man, the visuals in this are so great. It does have I think it has a very deeper meaning to what's going on. It's pretty cool, though. It's a good film. Yeah, it's creepy. It's creepy. It's got some really good imagery, like I said. Narcopolis. It was okay. This one was kind of forgettable. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I was expecting something a little bit more like. It just, from the cover, it kind of seems like, they're going to set this one in 2024, which is kind of funny, actually, because when did this shit come out? It wasn't too long. 2015. So they set this like 9 years in the future, and it's almost at 2024. It just sounds very futuristic, doesn't it? Not really. But I don't know. The cover makes it look like it was going to be set in the 80s, but maybe it is set in the 80s. I can't remember. Maybe I'm tripping balls. But anyways, it wasn't that great. It was something I might bring myself to rewatch, though, just to kind of update myself. But The Hollow. It's a great Irish film, man. It's Irish, right? Yeah, I believe it's Irish. I don't think it says anywhere on the back, but cool film, man. Really, really good. Yeah, and they got different artwork underneath there. That's the one. I recommend The Hollow. It's good shit. And then we got Submerged. Ugh, man. I love me some underwater horror and survival shit. This thing kind of had like a lot of shit going for it, but man, this was not very good. It was not good. Dark Song. I thought this was pretty cool. It's not phenomenal, but it's pretty damn worthy of watching it. So, does this one have different artwork too? No, this one's not even open. I watched this for, prep a couple years ago. I guess, obviously, I liked it enough that I picked up the Blu-ray. Just haven't rewatched it, I guess. But yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I think we talked about this on the podcast, or somebody did, or somebody reviewed it. Don't Knock Twice. Again, a decent movie. I'm like obsessed with don't titles. If they come out, I gotta pick them up. It's just the way it is. I even did a don't video, if you guys ever check that out. It's okay. It's got some pretty good atmosphere to it, though. Some good shots. The Devil's Dolls. I like this one. This one was pretty cool. Mixes old school voodoo with the tropes of 80s or classic 80s slashers. I guess. Yeah, I guess that is kind of accurate, I guess. And then we got Carnage Park. I really was not looking forward to this one for some reason. I was like, oh man. To me, it just looked like a straight up, like, sometimes, I don't know. Something about it. But Pat Healy's in it. It's fantastic. It's a good movie, man. It's interesting too, because feels like it's very influenced by Rob Zombie movies. So that might just put off people right there. But just the way it's shot, it's kind of gritty and just certain characters and things like that. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. All right, so we got the Abandoned. I I think this one was very, very forgettable. Yeah, I don't think I was digging that one. This one right here, I think I liked it for the most part. Dementia. But at the end of the day, I wasn't like in love with it. But yeah, I think it's like psychological. Obviously with dementia. Ejecta, not fantastic by any means. Yeah, so the director here, it's actually Matt Will, or Chad Archibald. He was one of the directors on it. That's right, yeah. Because I actually met Chad Archibald and Cody Callahan, as you can see right there. They're the guys that own Black Fawn Distribution in Canada. So this was kind of one of their movies that I believe that they didn't even release on their own label, oddly enough. Very strange, but it's not the greatest. It really isn't. Bound to Vengeance, I know this one has its fans. Maybe these years later. Apparently it was a promo, which I do not get Scream Factories for. This was bought off. I think I got it off eBay. I think this was the time that they started to go imports. It's the reason why, one of the reasons why I don't collect IFCs actively, because they're really hard to collect in Canada because they're considered imports. So you got to get them from third parties, and they're always like $30, $35. And I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm spending that type of money on a modern IFC film. And this was one I think that we wanted to do on the podcast, so I just got a copy off of eBay for like really cheap. And it was obviously somebody selling off their PR copy, motherfuckers. But yeah, I don't know. JP definitely loved that one a lot more than I did. I didn't really care for it. Contracted Phase 2, definitely not even close to as good. And this was another one. I actually bought both of these in the same lot. That's right. So somebody got these for review and then sold them off. But anyways, Contracted Phase 2, not as good as the first one. I really liked the first one. This movie is a goddamn fucking abomination. Hashtag horror. This is the type of shit that I can't fucking stand. Maybe it's because I'm a grumpy old almost 42-year-old man. And I like modern technology films drive me nuts. I hate movies with like that revolve around just cell phones and fucking YouTube stars, as I'm shooting a video on YouTube. But there's just a lot of corny things that I fucking hate about modern films. And when they incorporate just all this technology and shit, man, it just laptop type fucking found footage movies and shit for the most part are pretty shitty. There's a couple good ones, but anyways, rant over. Chile 78, this is a terrible movie. Awful. Road Games, I was curious about checking out this, I guess what you would say remake, I guess, of the classy Aussie flick with Barbara Crampton, who is still fucking beautiful as hell to this day. It was all right. It wasn't horrible. Let's put it that way. I didn't hate it. Rabid Dogs. I guess it's like pretty much a remake of the Mario Bava film, which I guess Lamberto Bava actually did his own version of it too. Didn't film it, just there's a recut of it. It was okay. Again, I don't know what the hell was going on here. Cabin Fever remake. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was terrible. Fucking terrible. I must be in like the remake. This is how I organize it then. And The Pack, this isn't technically a remake of the 70s movie The Pack, which is a fantastic movie, by the way. If you guys have ever seen that original, I'll say original film, The Pack, this one has a different storyline. But I mean, it's kind of I think it was intended to be a remake, but they just did something completely different. This isn't bad. This isn't bad, actually. It's pretty good. And then we got Baskin, which is a Turkish film, which I love this movie. I've watched this movie 3 or 4 times. It's just a really trippy movie. Really, really trippy themes and shit that are going on. If you've never seen Baskin, I highly recommend this shit, man. It's fantastic, man. It's good stuff. Oh my God, I love this movie. I haven't watched my Blu-ray yet, but again, I obviously watched it online and then felt compelled to buy the Blu-ray. The Devil's Candy. Oh my God, this movie was awesome. I loved it. It was so good. It's good shit, man. Highly recommend The Devil's Candy. This is one I felt like a lot of people didn't really care for, but I loved it, man. Look at how 80s that cover is with Barbara Crampton. Beyond the Gates. I love the premise of it. I think the premise is better than the movie itself, but at the end of the day, I thought it was still pretty fucking cool, man. Beyond the Gate. It's like the whole theme of it is just so nostalgic, man. It's crazy. I Remember You. I do. This is a great movie. This may have made my top 10 one year too. I love this thing, man. It's just really, what is it? Well, where's it from? Oh my God. I know it's like from a weird country. And then I want to say weird country and then have someone go, I'm from fucking there. Yeah, it's from Iceland. Yeah, I was right. So it's an Icelandic film. You just don't see a lot of films from Iceland, you know? Man, great film. Highly recommend that. So these next two, I actually picked up from a long time ago. It was from, I can't remember what store it was. Anyways, they had them for $1.99. So I picked them up. I'd seen both of them. And they're both, this one's better than the other one, but the House on Willow Street, it's okay. But I couldn't pass it up for $2. I'm like, are you serious? And like, I had no intentions of buying these because I wasn't really in love with them. So, but yeah, the Axe Murders of Villisca. It's based on, you know, the true story that happened in like apparently 1912. 8 people were hacked up, and I believe, yeah, they never caught anybody for this. It's a true story. It's very famous actually, but the movie, it comes off as being so fucking cheap. I don't know. It bugs me. It bugs me a little bit. All right, so that's the IFC stuff, and then we're going to get into some, that stands for chiller / sci-fi films that they had put out a few years back. Starting off with the sci-fi Dark Hall film. Yeah, it was on Sci-Fi. It's a bad movie, but oddly enough, it's super fun. I don't know why. We actually reviewed this on the podcast years and years ago, and everybody hated it. And I was like, it's okay. It's pretty average. And everyone's like freaking out. I was like, it's not average. I like it. Fuck them. Dead Souls. This was on Chiller. This one wasn't very good. I'm kind of glad that they stopped putting out these chiller / sci-fi movies. But these are all back in the day when I think I was buying everything. So got smarter. But this one wasn't very good. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like the greatest or nothing. This one had I think this even had a sequel too. Chilling Visions, 5 Senses of Fear. And then there was, I'm pretty sure there was a sequel that wasn't put out by Scream Factory, but it's 5 short films, kind of like an anthology style type thing, but it's not really, it's just 5 stories having to do with the senses, of course. Yeah, smell, see, touch, taste, and listen, right? Not a true anthology, but kind of set up. You guys get the picture. I thought it was pretty cool. There's a couple that are, like every type of compilation or anthology type film. There's some that are better than others, but Animal. This one was pretty cool. I enjoyed this, man. This was very reminiscent of Feast. Yeah, this was very reminiscent of Feast. If I had to compare it to something, on Chiller, it was actually not bad though. I think this is oddly upside down. I don't know. Oh, these are all actually upside down. Oh, I know what I did because I just moved these today for the sake of filming because I'm sitting on the ground now. The Boy. There was 2 movies that came out the same year with the title The Boy. This one I thought was actually really good. It doesn't have alternate artwork, but man, this was on Chiller Films. Pretty cool film, actually. I give him props on that one. And then we got the famous Monkey Paw Story. It's not great, but it's not horrible. So I'll give him that. Yeah. I mean, it has its moments. It really does have its moments. I'm trying to think of... Okay, Dutton is in this. Oh, I was thinking of someone else, but anyways, it's okay. This is one I thought was pretty cool. I think we reviewed this one too. I'm a huge Larry Fessenden fan. I love him as an actor too, man. He's a very underrated director, especially the stuff he did in the 90s. This is like a huge killer. What is it supposed to be again? Like a catfish or some mutated fucking... I don't even remember. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. I think they're stuck on a raft or a boat. It's a Jaws ripoff type thing, but it's kind of like The Raft in a sense. Now when I think about it, like from Creepshow, but yeah, beneath. Kind of cool. And then last up for this video is going to be Deep in the Darkness with Sean Patrick Thomas. Not very good. Another shitty Chiller film. Yeah, I'm glad that they stopped doing those motherfuckers because, gross. All right, so we'll slip that back into the hole. That's what she said. Yeah, so This is part 4. We're going to do 2 more parts. We'll finish off with the Scream Factory stuff, and then we'll have a bonus video for all the Shout Factory, which there is actually more Shout Factory stuff around the collection. I probably just bring over for the sake of filming, but it'll be probably a longer video because I got to go through all that plus a little bit more. But yeah, so that's part 4, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments down below. And yeah, we're getting close to the end of the Scream Factory stuff, and then we'll move on to, I don't know, what do you guys want to see next for boutique labels? I know nobody's probably watching at this point, so no one's actually going to answer. This is why I used to do contests all the time and not put them in the titles of my videos, because I wanted to see who was actually watching to the end. And sometimes I get like 2 people enter. It's hilarious. Well, here's a free Blu-ray. Anyways, all right, guys, so that's gonna do it. Did it pretty good timing, man. 35 minutes, 36 minutes, whatever this video is. So I'm happy with that, but I will check you guys in the next part. Hopefully I'll get it up soon. I'm gonna be away for the next few days, so hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, leave comments down below, and as usual, deuces.